Hello and welcome. I'm Pierre Ruth with Information Week, and today, in advance of the Forrester Technology and Innovation Summit North America, which begins September 9th in Austin, Texas, and online, I have the pleasure of interviewing Forrester Analyst Jayesh Chaurasia, who will be a featured speaker at the summit. Information Week is a media partner for this event as well. Jayesh will be leading a workshop as well as some breakout sessions at the summit, and I have the opportunity to speak with him for a preview of some of those topics. Jayesh, thank you for making yourself available and having an opportunity to share some of what you'll be discussing at the summit.
Thank you for having me.
Great. So Jayesh, could you tell us a little bit about yourself, your work at Forrester, what your expertise resides in, and then from there we will speak about some of the topics that you'll be covering at the summit.
Certainly. First of all, my name is Jayesh Chaurasia. I do cover master data management, data governance, data quality, and data observability, one of the topics that is actually evolving in the market right now. I've been with Forrester for over 2 years now. Before that, I was actually a practitioner doing all of these analysis and data management related stuff for different companies, mostly for CPG industries.
Great. Well, thank you very much for that. So let's talk about some of the sessions that you'll be leading, and let's talk about data governance through observability, which is one of those. First, let's kind of level set about, when we're talking about data governance, what are the important, parameters, needs that we're seeing there, and then from there, if we talk about the importance of data governance, let's talk about how observability plays a role in that.
Definitely. So, as I said, data observability is still evolving. So there are many things, many capabilities that it is bringing up for data governance. However, the essential piece that helps data governance greatly is operationalizing it, because using data observability, you can actually see the effect of all the data governance activities that the companies usually do. They have, data governance policies, they are setting up roles and responsibilities, there are lineage, there's metadata, and all of that thing is great to have. But if those policies and roles and responsibilities are not actually implemented, then doing all of that sometimes become futile. So data observability is the key that is coming up. We'll see how how it evolves and how companies accept it, because right now it's mainly around large enterprises who are using that type of tool. But it will help data governance greatly with that operationalizing feature.
Thank you very much for that. With data governance, we make sure that everyone's speaking the same language about what we mean by data governance and what's the importance of it. Is data governance just about enterprises, looking internally, or are there external needs, demands, and pressures saying that data governance is something that every organization needs to really pay attention to?
First of all, great question, JB. Actually, it's the other way around. It's the external pressure, external regulatory requirements that mostly, in most of the companies, it drives data governance program. First of all, it's the main cause for every company to think about data governance. Rules like GDPR and CCPA, once they became active, once they became more frontline, that's when data governance was like, okay, we need to do. Every company was very focused on data governance, especially the highly regulated companies, industries like financial services, healthcare. However, since ChatGPT in 2022-23, people as well as executives are excited about AI. They all want to go after this new feature, new capability, and of course, there is a lot of promise around it. But over the later half of last year, and of course the full year in 2024, we are seeing more and more evidence that just going after AI is not going to help, and which is why you need to clean your data, you need to have governance in place. And now one of the biggest driver of data governance is going to be that effort, where companies understand that it's not just about AI and not the fancy world of operationalizing AI without having the basics, the foundation in place, and that foundation is data governance.
Right. And then, of course, the tools behind observability, they've been evolving, with this space. Have they been kind of really keeping pace, or is there more that needs to be done when it comes to, or potentially needs to be done, or hoped for when it comes to observability to kind of meet the demand for data governance?
I would say the primary day or the focus area for data observability has been around since 2018, almost 6-7 years now. So the way they are evolving themselves is great. They started with just data observability. They went into observing the users and systems and data pipelines and many other things. However, there's always, just like any other technology, be it observability or governance or quality, there's always room for growth. In observability as well, they use AI for multiple things, but at the same time, there's a lot of manual tasks involved when it comes to data quality related things, when it comes to actually understanding some of the data governance policies in the back end. So those things sometime actually right now needs to improve in data observability world. There are vendors who are doing this. In fact, there are some vendors who have also now started incorporating data lineage, which is actually a big piece of data governance. So it's mixing those things together. It's bringing those two worlds together so that they understand each other, as well as they can use each other to benefit both the worlds.
Great. Thank you for that. So let's change gears. If you brought up AI a couple of times, let's change gears a bit and speak about the workshop that you'll be hosting regarding assessing your AI data readiness. Right now, we're definitely in a time where many organizations are trying to get their arms around, how they're making use of AI. So trying to, figure that out. Some more rapidly than others. But what do we mean by the data readiness with AI? And there's different things that I might think about in terms of hallucination and other things that questions that organizations might have. But what are, if we could kind of lay out like a beginning checklist, if you will, of what we mean by AI data readiness, and what are some of the things that organizations, at least at a high level, might want to consider?
Sure. So primarily that workshop has our featured connected data intelligence framework in focus, because that connected intelligence framework, Forrester's framework, had been designed just to prepare your data for AI. So how do you prepare your data for AI so that you are actually AI ready? And there are various aspects around not just technology, but people and process side as well. It talks about how you need to start from where you get your data, which is the data sources, to all the data management tasks that we are, of course, I'm going to present on the governance and quality, but I also cover master data management. There are other data management related things like data security, privacy, and data quality management, lineage, all of those things that I talked about. And connected intelligence bring all those different aspects from start to end together, so that your AI journey actually incorporates different aspects, just like you need to prepare your data, to prepare for that AI. And of course, we are going to leverage an assessment there during the workshop, so that we can first assess, because you can't move forward without knowing where you stand. So we will do an initial assessment of the attendees who will attend the workshop, to understand what is their current maturity on connected intelligence or on AI readiness. And from there, we will take forward steps around how they can improve their people, process, or technology aspect. There is actually 8 different steps that we have in that connected intelligence framework. So we'll go through those and explain how each of them help prepare for AI.
Great. Thank you for that. It seems to be, with what you've said and just kind of looking more broadly at the topic, that the data readiness is something that, organizations with themselves, of course, doing, but then like the idea that, the partners, the clients, the customers that they work with, that they are receiving data from, trying to get that all aligned can potentially be, is it something that's going to take a lot of heavy lifting, or, is that just like a conversation that organizations need to start to prepare for, that the idea of not only getting their AI data readiness internally, but also speaking to those elements from outside that might be coming in, that they also need to kind of like get on board, get in line for what is going to be needed?
I think it's going to be a little bit of heavy lifting, of course, because many of the companies do not have the basics, the foundations that I was talking about. There are still many companies who haven't even started on governance journey, don't have a comprehensive plan for their data quality measurement as well as improvement. And when you talk about AI, we keep on saying that it depends on the data quality, it depends on your data governance. It is important to manage your data first to be successful in AI. Whereas if you see the data that we have, the survey data that we have, there's like only 40% of the executives who say that data quality is one of their primary goals for the next 6 months. Imagine not even 50%, not even half of them saying that that's going to be their priority. Which is why I feel like there's going to be some heavy lifting and explaining to higher executives who are very much aligned on AI, but a little bit confused around what needs to be done before you completely jump the gun.
Right. And for those who are planning to attend the workshop, are there particular questions or thoughts that they, maybe, if they were to write down their notepad of like what they could, bring to the workshop to, ask questions about so they can try to get the most out of it? Are there particular things that you're hoping that they'll, particular points that they'll pay more attention to?
Absolutely. First of all, the assessment itself would create many questions, and we will come prepared with for them. We will focus on people, process, and technology together. But as an attendee, you can bring your questions around how to prepare your data for a particular use case, something that your company currently is focusing on. Many companies are using AI just for one use case at a time or one domain at a time, rather than proliferating it across the enterprise. So you can bring your specific questions just for your domain or just for your use case. How, for that particular use case, what is the people aspect? Who you need to involve in it? How does the IT versus business, or IT plus business, to be more accurate, work together to bring both of those worlds to a same place where your technology and your business acumen is not lagging, and you are focusing on both of them. You can also probably come up with a simple architecture of your current environment, current data infrastructure, so that we can also look at that and probably give you some feedback on something that is missing, or if you need to eliminate or consolidate certain things.
Right. And what's really at stake when we're talking about the data readiness for AI? At times the AI space is kind of feels like a wild west. Organizations trying to figure out what to do next. But what is the sense of the importance, the real driving need to try and get this right?
So far, I think it has been the innovation. It has been the productivity gain that you can get from AI. And I think that's where AI has performed well to improve some of the performance, some of the productivity, especially for data engineers, coders. The co-pilots have worked greatly. But for some of those bigger business benefits where the companies were thinking of innovation, full-fledged innovation, where they can do certain stuff without the need of human, probably, those haven't materialized. And there is still a lot of scope. There's this agentic AI related technologies coming into picture. There is the predictive AI also coming back. Generative AI itself improving. And then there's this AGI, I think, which is called the general intelligence model. They all hold great potential for companies who actually want to innovate and be customer obsessed, or probably just want to be better in certain other areas, or be technology. But essentially, there is a lot that can be done, which hasn't materialized so far. So which is why I think being data and AI ready, or AI ready, will help you to at least be better than your competitors, or be in a better position where you are utilizing the whatever amount of funding you get for AI appropriately.
Great. Let's shift gears again to talk about data quality, since we were just talking about it in relevance to AI, but you've got the session on data quality being the key to trust in data. What are some of the litmus tests that are used to kind of get a barometer of data quality, and from there let's talk about why that is important to have organizational institutional trust in what we're seeing with data.
Sure. So I think for litmus test, it's always the 6 dimensions of data quality that most of the companies evaluate. Consistency, accuracy, validity, timeliness, those type of factors. But to improve that, of course, the talk has multiple recommendations for the attendees to understand what are the ways in which they can first establish a data quality program, and also take it forward. Because for data quality, the biggest challenge that we see in the organization is, and of course the same thing is with data governance as well, is the continuous support and funding for those type of initiatives. Because after a couple of years, it feels like either there's no ROI, or there is no real benefit that you can see, and this fatigue start to come in, where people start to question whether we still want to do data quality or not, whether we still want to pursue data governance or not. And one of the key theme of my talk is that data quality is a strategic investment. So stop questioning it every day.
And many organizations, I'm sure, might feel like, hey, we've been collecting data for years, decades, depending on how long they've been operating and making it part of the processes. What are some of the things that they might like? Is it potential that organizations might feel a bit overwhelmed when trying to assess their data quality, because they might just say, okay, we've got all of this data. How do we now start to go through these tests to kind of really work on the quality of it and get to that improved level of trust, and also, I guess, let's talk a bit about how AI might be coming into a play to, I guess, enhance that data quality.
That's one of the major part of my talk, JP. How AI is actually helping in data quality. Some of the features that are part of the tool, how AI not only helps in evaluating the data quality, but also fixing it. So there are 3 main things that you do as part of data quality management. One is you evaluate what is the data quality right now. Then you actually fix it, where the remediation and improvement type of stuff come in. And the last piece is maintenance. And AI has actually permeated almost each of those steps with different capabilities, different things that you need to do in either evaluation, improvement, or maintenance. So for companies, yes, definitely it might feel a little bit overwhelming because there are multiple steps that needs to come into picture. There is evaluation and fixing, and when you have vast amount of data, it becomes very difficult to maintain everything, which is why I am suggesting to take baby steps. Maybe take smaller pieces of chunk of data, or most important use case that you're currently working on, or your AI data, to be more focused on data quality rather than trying to boil the entire ocean at once.
With what you're saying, it reminds me of like some of the adages and thoughts that have kind of surrounded the technology and business space. Everywhere, every company being a technology company, every company being a software company, every company making use of data. Should companies be looking towards being a high data quality company so that they can be stronger AI companies, if you will?
Yeah. And I think that is what this year and potentially next year will drive. That you need to focus on your governance, and you need to focus on data quality. That is part of our connected intelligence framework as well. So all the three topics and three talks that I'm giving, the central theme is that data management and working on your data is more important than just working on developing a model, because model can be developed and essentially, this is one thing we internally speak about with most of our colleagues, and we agree on the point that AI is nothing but a data application. Don't treat it as a new or a separate beast altogether. So if you get your data in line, by default, you get your AI in line.
Fantastic. Jayesh, listen, I'd like to thank you for your time, and to our audience, thank you for watching. Be sure to keep watch for the Forrester Technology and Innovation North America Summit, which starts September 9th, where Information Week will be a media partner. Jayesh, appreciate you and your expertise, and we definitely look forward to hearing more from you.
Thank you very much once again, JP, for having me. And I look forward to everyone in those sessions. And hopefully I provide you more information and something that you can actually use in your company right away.